Alexa, thank you. NYPD working around the clock. They've been traveling back and forth between New York and Altoona, Pennsylvania, since accused killer Luigi Mangione was arrested.
Yeah, one of the men making that trip is Deputy Commissioner of Operations Kaz Daughtry. He joins us now alongside Chief of Patrol John Schell. So great to have both of you here.
Thank you.
This is a case, obviously, that you were laser focused on putting those images out there to us so we can get that individual found. But now there's a lot of questions about the motive behind all of this, right? And the manifesto is out there. And in part of that manifesto, he wrote, allegedly, that these parasites had it coming. So have you had a chance to read the manifesto, and did that provide you any idea of why there was a potential motive here?
Well, the motive on the surface looks like he had an animus towards the healthcare industry, and he wasn't happy with that. In terms of the manifesto, our Detective Bureau, our Intel Bureau, will parse through that, go through the wording about what it really means and where it leads them to. So a lot of work still to be done post-arrest, if you will, for the investigation. But like I said, he had an animus towards the healthcare system. We'll leave it at that. But when they go deeper into that, who knows where it's going to lead them. Yeah,
and Mr. Daughtry, you actually traveled to Altoona when this news broke, right? Were you able to speak to Mr. Mangione about this, about anything, about a motive, and what did you observe when he was there?
I did not speak with the individual, but what I observed was NYPD detectives kind of like we are a big department. We had a lot of detectives down there, and it's almost, I kind of felt we almost took over their whole department. But I did observe the interagency collaboration. What do I mean by that? Our NYPD detectives working hand in hand with the Altoona Police Department, with the local federal agents that were down there, with the state police down there, and just watching them in the room, watching them go over what they had, how did they get to this conclusion, how did they get to the McDonald's, and just watching that whole, the whole machine work, and everybody was on the same sheet of music, the same sheet of page, and big thank you to the Altoona Police Department. Just it was something fascinating to watch.
Great police work all around, and of course, thank you to the public for stepping forward and splattering this guy's face everywhere. Yep. But now that he's fighting extradition, how hard is it to get him back to New York? What are the next steps?
The process is he's laying the process to come back to New York City. He will see a judge in Pennsylvania, and ultimately, sooner or later, he'll be back in a Manhattan courtroom facing his charges from the Manhattan DA's office.
What is the delay due to the case of him?
Well, it's a process. He has the right to waive his extradition, which he did. He'll be assigned a judge in Pennsylvania, and they'll get together. They will send him back to New York City. He could delay the process all he wants. He's coming back to the city to pay for his crime.
My quick follow-up to that is, how hard is it going to be to try this case when this killer, alleged killer, has so many sympathizers? If you look at social media, people are claiming he's a hero.
I mean, it's disheartening to hear that and see some of those images on social media that people are hailing this individual a hero when he took somebody's life in cold blood in our streets.
Yeah.
And as far as the case goes, the amount of work the New York City Police Department's detectives, Chief Kenny and his detectives, got in 5 or 6 days is immense. I mean, between the ballistics, the forensics, the laborious task of tracking video, the video from the cab, the tracking the cab to Manhattan, immense amount of evidence they have.
Yeah.
So they'll work hard to tighten up the probable cause so the case sticks. They represent the family, and they work in conjunction with Alvin Bragg in his office, and they just did a really nice job here. And then the community, to your point, got involved in Altoona, and it was a good teamwork here.
A few questions about where he was going. Was that it, right? Was Brian Thompson, the United CEO, was that the only target? Were there other targets? No, you have the laptop, the cell phone, the gun. They're going through ballistics, right? They have the manifesto. Is there any indication that there were others?
I mean, we're looking at all possible leads. Our Deputy Commissioner of Intelligence has her analysts on this. But let's talk about how we got to the photo. I think it's very important for your viewers and New Yorkers to know, and the world to know, that we got a brand new police commissioner. Probably one of the biggest cases this year so far that she was in charge of. And with myself, Chief Schell, the chief of department, and her team was in her executive conference room, and Chief Kenny laid out some of the photos that we have recovered. And immediately she said, we need to get these photos out to New Yorkers. We need to get these photos out to America, to the world, so that they can help us try to apprehend this individual.
Yeah, it's obviously the power of getting that photo out there really led to this. There are fears now, to Cal's point, not only the sympathizers, but of copycats. There are a lot of people who feel affected by the healthcare industry and big companies overall. What are you hearing in terms of copycats? There were some posters that were hung around New York City. Can you talk about what you're seeing now play out, not only physically, but also on the internet?
Well, Commissioner Weiner stated there's an increase in threats to companies, and through our NYPD Century, our private partnership with companies, we are learning them what's happening. They have their own private security. They'll make their adjustments to that. But it's that partnership with communication that will keep people safe. So the communication is key here, and letting them know what's going on so they can make their adjustments.
Have any of the companies reached out to the NYPD to say, hey, we need help, or this was a threat made?
Yes, they have. And our Commissioner of Intelligence is spearheading that. I believe yesterday at our staff briefing, that the Commissioner, when she briefed the Commissioner about incidents like this, immediately she told our Commissioner of Intelligence to get a conference call with all of the heads of these healthcare agencies in our city, and she's going to give them a private briefing. And if anybody is feeling that they're being threatened or targeted, they contact our intelligence division, and we're going to do a threat assessment on that.
Or who?
I don't have any.
There's been a rise. Okay, no doubt about it. So again, Inspector Weiner and our team are handling that in conjunction with, like I said, the SHIELD. And we're communicating, and that's a key, that everyone be on the same page what we're doing, what's happening.
But if any company out there that is receiving threats or emails, they should definitely contact us so that we can have our analysts and our intel detectives go over there and mitigate those threats and give it a quick analysis on the threats as well.
I've got to ask the question again. Is there a reason to believe that Luigi Mangione would have continued killing if he was not caught?
Again, post-arrest investigation, there is so much work to be done here. So, for instance, he had a laptop in Pennsylvania. That's a search warrant. They'll look at all these avenues, and there's a lot of work to get done here. So, can't answer that question. The detectives, Intel Division, our federal partners will look at all of this.
But sure, he acted alone.
We don't know yet, but that's why we're asking, and I'm glad you bring it up, because we want your viewers, and we want New Yorkers to know, and the world to know, that if this individual contacted anybody, to please contact us. 1-800-577-TIPS, so we can include that into our investigation also.
Okay, Deputy Commissioner Operations Kaz Archer, Chief Shell, great to have you on. Thank you for being here. Go ahead.
Thank you. No, I was asking, I know it's Christmas time coming. I know last time you had a problem putting the bike together. So if you need any help, just please let us know. We'll be more than happy to help you there.
It might be, last time you said it was $40. It might be $50. With the
I'm never going to live this down. Never going to live this down. But thankfully, I have this pen that can help me out. Thankfully, I can have this John Shell pen that's available for a limited time. This was given to me for Olivia, so thank you.
Six-pack is $3.99.
Not quite the hair that you have, but sure. Great to have you guys here, as always.
Thank you. Happy holidays to you. Stay safe.